The streets may be ruthless, but prison is a different kind of battlefield. The men accused of murdering rapper G Dollar Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter, Romani, have entered a dangerous new world behind bars, where justice isn't just served in court, it's enforced in the cells. The real danger isn't just from the justice system, it's from the inmates who see killing a child as an unforgivable crime. Lil Ronnie's killers lives in danger. The streets don't forget, and the prison system don't forgive, especially when it comes to child killers. Adonis Robinson and Jacoby Russell, the two suspects charged with the brutal murder of rapper Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter, Romani Sibley, just stepped into a world where every move is watched and every breath could be their last. Both men, arrested and slapped with capital murder charges, are now locked up, but their real sentence may have already begun. In the world of gang politics, there's one unspoken rule. You don't touch kids, and these two broke the code in the worst way possible. The streets are already talking, and the prison yard is listening. Adonis Robinson was captured in Livingston, Texas by the Texas Rangers, while Jacoby Russell was taken into custody in Tarrant County. Both are facing the kind of heat that makes survival behind bars nearly impossible. Prison politics run deep, and in a place where every inmate has a history, child killers rank at the very bottom. Adonis Robinson already had a dark past, marked as a registered sex offender after an attempted sexual assault on a jogger in 2019. His cellmates won't ignore that fact. And Jacoby Russell, known for multiple violent assaults, including attacking a pregnant woman in 2023. But that history won't save him. The moment they took the life of a little girl, they wrote their own death sentence. Surveillance footage captured Lil Ronnie's final moments, showing him running for his life as Robinson and Russell chased him down. He tried to climb a fence to escape, but when he couldn't make it over, they moved in to finish the job. The execution-style killing sent shockwaves through the rap community and beyond. But now, behind bars, they face a different kind of execution, one that doesn't need a judge or a jury. The internet is already speculating on their fate. Comment sections are filled with cold, matter-of-fact statements like, that capital murder charge will be delicious to prosecutors. They won't make it in prison either. Nope, child killers are on the same level as child molesters. They gon' fuck them then? Well, y'all know the rest. Even without a formal death sentence, many don't expect Robinson and Russell to serve their full time, because prison justice moves quicker than the courts. Capital murder in Texas isn't a game. The penalties include life without parole or the death penalty, and with the evidence stacking up, the prosecution won't hold back. Lauren's Law, which enhances penalties for murders involving young victims, ensures that the system will make an example out of them. But the question isn't just about their legal fate, it's about whether they'll live long enough to see a courtroom again. Inmates don't take kindly to baby killers, and the moment news spreads behind those prison walls, it's a wrap. Whether it's a brutal beating, a shank in the dark, or just mysteriously disappearing from the yard, Robinson and Russell are now marked men. Their first day in jail, viral. Their last day in jail, that might come sooner than anyone expects. Rapper Boosie also reinforced the danger Adonis Robinson, 24, and Jacoby Russell will face for killing a kid. As a longtime advocate for protecting children, Boosie made it clear that this crime crossed a line.
Y'all niggas tripping, nigga. Kids off limits, man. Them children off limits, man. You see your op with they children, with they little boy and they little girl, nigga, let them make it home, man. That ain't gangster, man.
His words served as a reminder of an unspoken rule in the streets. Children should never be harmed. Meanwhile, the motive behind the killing remains unclear. The Forest Hill police chief stated that it has yet to be determined whether the suspects knew their victim. It's all part of the investigation, he said. What made this case even more surprising was that Lil Ronnie was not known for gang affiliations or drill-style rap. Those close to him described him as a well-liked father and community figure. His booking manager and friend, Kendrick Wilson, suggested that jealousy could have played a role and that Lil Ronnie was targeted, explaining that Fort Worth has long been a dangerous place for rising stars.
Growing up in the inner city, you see death a lot. It sucks to say it, but it's normal.
Social media commentator Charleston White, a Fort Worth native, shed light on the deeper context behind the tragedy. Having known Lil Ronnie since he was a teenager throwing parties, White described him as a laid-back, non-confrontational type who never sought trouble. However, even those who avoid conflict can still find themselves caught in the middle of it. White pointed out that while Lil Ronnie wasn't involved in gang activity, his close ties to known figures in the local rap scene may have made him a target. He had been associated with Hood Fame and Go Yayo, names long linked to the street life. In Fort Worth, White explained, guilt by association is a dangerous reality. Even if someone isn't involved in a crime, being around the wrong people can put them at risk.
Even though you ain't on the gang, you're guilty by association. So you might as well be on the gangster. If you hanging with the gangsters on the gangster, you gotta be on gangsters because you're guilty by association.
Perhaps the most troubling revelation from White was that he personally knew the young men accused of killing Ronnie. He had even worked with them through his community programs, trying to steer them away from the streets.
But when I saw the video, I said, man, them some kids that killed him.
Yeah.
Them some babies.
Most definitely.
And come to find out, it's some babies. Some babies that come through my organization that I done work with.
To him, their involvement wasn't just tragic. It was a disturbing reminder of how early these conflicts take root. The rivalry between groups like Ape Gang and Hood Fame, he noted, wasn't a recent development. It began when they were just kids, some still in elementary school, forming alliances that eventually grew into street war. One of the suspects, White revealed, had even been caught with a gun at school when he was just 15. At the time, White had fought to get him released, believing he could be saved. Now, seeing that same young man accused of murder, he reflected on how a lack of guidance, unstable homes, and a toxic street culture had shaped their lives. Meanwhile, besides Adonis and Jacoby, who were caught on camera shooting Ronnie, the police seem to have arrested another individual who the streets are claiming was the getaway driver for Adonis and Jacoby after they committed the murder. The getaway driver, Khalyla Maria. Khalyla's name was first linked to the case when a video of her tearful arrest went viral.
Oh, there she go right there. That's drive.
In the footage, she can be seen sobbing uncontrollably as officers place her in handcuffs and escort her into a police vehicle. The emotional scene sparked immediate speculation online, with many wondering why she was arrested and what connection she had to the brutal execution of Lil Ronnie and his daughter. The internet didn't take long to put the pieces together. Social media detectives identified Khalyla Maria as the girlfriend of one of the primary suspects, Adonis Robinson. The two had been publicly affectionate, sharing multiple photos together on social media, making it easy for the public to link her to him. The discovery fueled rumors that Khalyla may have aided Robinson and his co-defendant, Jacoby Russell, in their attempt to flee after the murder. As speculation ran wild, Lil Ronnie's baby mother, Shaman Jones, stepped forward to confirm Khalyla's direct involvement. In a fiery Instagram live session, Shaman didn't hold back, showing a picture of Khalyla's arrest and openly accusing her of helping Robinson and Russell escape the crime scene. Shaman made it clear that she viewed Khalyla as just as guilty as the shooters, vowing to beat her up if she ever gets released.
That took them to do the shooting, it's the hoe that they was in the car with, and fuck that hoe. And when I find out who this bitch is when you get out of jail, I'ma beat your stupid ass.
Following her arrest, new details emerge about who Khalyla Maria really is and how she found herself entangled in a murder case. A woman named Booney Latrice, who claims to have once trusted Khalyla, spoke out about their connection. She revealed that the two women shared a baby father and often supported one another through their experiences as mothers. The two women had children with the same man, and while he was incarcerated, they leaned on each other for support. Booney described Khalyla as someone she trusted, never suspecting that she was capable of being involved in such a heinous act.
Kay is somebody that I trusted because my youngest daughter, we share a baby daddy. And while he was in jail, me and the baby mama helped each other as far as our kids go. I never knew this lady was a fucked up individual.
Booney revealed that at the time of the murder, she was recovering from a medical procedure in Mexico. She had made prior arrangements for different people to care for her children while she was away. Khalyla was supposed to be a backup caretaker for one of her daughters. Initially, things seemed fine. On Monday, Khalyla even sent Booney a picture of her daughter watching television, reassuring her that everything was okay. However, within 24 hours, everything spiraled out of control. By Tuesday, Booney started receiving alarming phone calls that made her question whether her daughter was safe. Khalyla's mother called Booney, saying that she could no longer care for the child and that someone needed to come pick her up. Booney initially dismissed this as a last-minute excuse, thinking Khalyla had simply changed her mind about babysitting. However, her best friend soon called with an even more disturbing revelation. A neighbor had found Booney's child alone. That's when panic set in. Booney immediately tried to reach Khalyla for an explanation. I texted her demanding answers, Booney recalled. She called me back crying, saying, "I'm in the back of a police car. I can't go to jail."
Cause she acting like she crying, but it didn't really sound like she was crying. And she like, "I'm in the back of a police car. They had my house surrounded." Mind you, again, this is Tuesday. She like, I'm in the back of a police car. I can't go to jail. And woo. I said, what the fuck did you do?
The moment Booney heard those words, she knew something serious had happened. She pressed Kalila for details, repeatedly asking, what did you do? But Kalila refused to answer. She only kept saying, they're trying to charge me with being an accessory. In hindsight, Kalila's behavior started making more sense. She had been actively moving children around, possibly to protect them from police intervention, fearing her involvement in the crime would lead to Child Protective Services getting involved. What disturbed Booney the most was that Kalila had a chance to tell the police what she knew on Tuesday when they first arrived at her home. But instead of coming clean, she allegedly kept information about Robinson and Russell escape. Surprisingly, Kalila was released just a day after her arrest, which shocked most people who felt if her involvement was as serious as the news flying around, then Kalila wouldn't have been released so quickly. Meanwhile, after her release from jail, Kalila Maria took to Instagram to defend herself against the accusations that she was the getaway driver and knowingly helped Adonis Robinson and Jacoby Williams flee. However, instead of clearing her name, her explosive rant has left many questioning whether she just incriminated herself further, or even worse, if she was secretly working with the police all along. Kalila strongly denied any involvement in the crime, emphasizing that she would never condone or participate in harming a child. She expressed outrage at being implicated and claimed that she was unfairly treated by the public. She also pointed out that she was interrogated by the police, stating that she had no knowledge of the crime and played no role in assisting Adonis.
I asked him, how the could you do some shit like that? How the can you sleep doing shit like that? What the
But while she was trying to prove her innocence, she may have accidentally revealed too much, suggesting that police were tracking her car and using her to locate Adonis. One of the most shocking parts of her rant was when she casually dropped this bombshell.
Y'all wanna know how we got caught? I will gladly tell y'all. Shit, they put a track on my car.
This immediately raised red flags. If she was innocent and had nothing to do with the crime, why was law enforcement tracking her car? Her own words suggest she was already under surveillance, meaning police likely suspected she was in contact with Adonis and Jacoby before she was officially arrested. Even more damning, she seemed to contradict herself multiple times about whether she actually transported Adonis or not.
I didn't take that nigga nowhere. I didn't take him out here. I didn't take him out here. He was already out here. He told me to come out here, and that's exactly what the fuck I did, came out here.
This doesn't match earlier reports that she was caught 3 hours away, supposedly driving Adonis out of town. If she truly wasn't helping him flee, why was she so far away from home when she got arrested? A major point of contention in Kalila's story is the timeline of events. Monday, the execution-style murder of Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter Ramani occurs. Tuesday, law enforcement arrives at Kalila's house suggesting they already suspect her involvement. Thursday, she is arrested 3 hours away, reportedly after helping Adonis and Jacoby flee. Many are questioning why she failed to provide any useful information to police on Tuesday if she was truly innocent. Instead of cooperating at that point, she later traveled out of town and ended up in close proximity to Adonis when they were caught. The fact that her vehicle was under surveillance suggests that investigators believe she was a key connection to Adonis's whereabouts. Her behavior after the murder also raises questions. If she was not involved, why did she place herself in a situation where she was seen as an accessory? Rather than distancing herself from Adonis and his actions, she appears to have stayed in contact with him until they were both taken into custody. Kalila's role in this case remains unclear, and it is likely that more information will emerge as the investigation unfolds. Her social media outburst, while intended to clear her name, has only made people more skeptical about her true level of involvement. She now faces two possibilities. If she was actively assisting Adonis, she may face serious legal consequences for aiding a fugitive. If she was working with police, her safety could be at risk if others believe she played a role in Adonis's capture. Either way, this case is far from over, and Kalila's next moves could determine her fate. Reactions to Lil Ronnie and Ramani's death. The tragic murder of G Dollar, Lil Ronnie and his 5-year-old daughter Ramani, has sparked an outpouring of grief and outrage from the hip-hop community, local leaders, and the public. Many have taken to social media and public forums to express their sorrow, condemn the violence, and call for change. One of the first individuals to speak to the media was Lil Ronnie's aunt, who was present at the crime scene. Overcome with heartbreak, she described the horrific events, emphasizing that Ronnie was deliberately targeted while he was cleaning out his car. Her words reflected both the shock and devastation of losing her nephew and his daughter in such a senseless act of violence.
All we know is that he was targeted, he was doing the car, cleaning the car out, and somebody came through shooting and killed him and the baby. He was a good kid, y'all. He was. He didn't bother nobody. He didn't. Him and that baby.
Her emotional statement further solidified the narrative that Ronnie was not involved in any conflict. He was simply a father and an artist, focused on his career and raising his child. The grief in her voice was shared by many who knew and loved them. The loss of 5-year-old Romani has been especially painful for those who knew her as a bright and joyful child. One of her best friends, who was with her and Lil Ronnie some days before they were killed, later posted a video expressing how much she misses her friend. The innocence of her grief highlights the deep emotional toll this tragedy has had, particularly on those close to Romani.
I missed you at school today, Armani. I love you.
Romani was a proud member of Safari Sports, a local cheerleading group that played a big role in her young life. In the wake of her passing, the organization issued a public statement expressing their devastation. "We are heartbroken over the loss of Romani. She was a bright, talented young girl who brought so much joy to her teammates. Our prayers are with her family, and we will continue to honor her memory." This tragedy has sent shockwaves through the Fort Worth community, with many coming together to show support for the grieving families. The impact of Lil Ronnie's death has been deeply felt within the rap industry, particularly among those who work closely with him. Soulja Boy, an Atlanta-based rapper who toured with Lil Ronnie and Go Yayo in 2024, shared a heartfelt tribute on X, formerly Twitter. Posting a photo of himself with Ronnie, he wrote, "R.I.P. to my brother G Dollar, Lil Ronnie, love you fam." His message reflected their strong professional and personal bond, underscoring the loss within the rap community. Kendrick Wilson, DJ Mr. Hit Dat, a well-known DJ in North Texas, was devastated by the news. On Instagram, he expressed his heartbreak, writing, "My heart stopped on this one. I'm hurt with this one. We was big on fatherhood." His reaction emphasized Ronnie's role as a devoted father, making the tragedy even more profound given that both he and his daughter lost their lives. Wack 100, a music manager known for his outspoken views on hip-hop culture, also reacted to the case. He addressed the arrest of Adonis Robinson in a video shared on X by Club Zero USA TV on March 6, 2025. Reacting to some clips about the murder, Wack 100 shared his condolences with Lil Ronnie's family. His involvement in the discussion highlights the case's significance within the music industry, as he frequently comments on major incidents affecting artists. Fort Worth rapper Go Yayo, one of Lil Ronnie's closest collaborators, shared a heartfelt message on Instagram, mourning the loss of his right-hand man. He posted a photo of them together, writing, "Long live Ronnie G Dollar, my right-hand man, my brother forever. You was one of the realest I ever met. Me and you changed the game together." The two artists shared a deep personal and professional bond with their 2018 hit Hood Fame Illuminati, amassing over 3.9 million streams on Spotify. Go Yayo's tribute underscores the brotherhood they formed and the legacy Ronnie leaves behind in Texas hip-hop. Another Fort Worth hip-hop artist, Smooth Vega, took to social media to acknowledge Lil Ronnie's pivotal role in shaping the local rap scene. In a post reported by the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, he credited Ronnie for helping to put Fort Worth's hip-hop culture on the map, particularly alongside Go Yayo. Those that know how much of a role that Ronnie played in not only his success, but Go Yayo's as well. These guys built something legendary. This brother was special. His words highlight Lil Ronnie's contributions beyond his own career, emphasizing the impact he had on Fort Worth's rap community and the influence he leaves behind. Beyond the music industry, local leaders and activists have used this tragedy as a wake-up call to address violence in Fort Worth. Rodney McIntosh, a pastor and director of Violence Intervention and Prevention Fort Worth, spoke at a March 4, 2025 news conference on behalf of Romani's grieving mother. He condemned the senseless killing, stating, "We should not be burying 5-year-old kids. Our community must do better. We have to get to a place where we start to value our lives, but more than that we start to value the future and the lives of our children." His remarks underscored the need for urgent action against gun violence, particularly to protect the next generation. Chris Nettles, a Fort Worth council member, directly addressed those who may have known about the attack beforehand. Speaking at a community gathering on March 4, 2025, he stated, "If you were aware that a takedown was going to take place prior to it happening, you are not only part of the problem, but you are the problem." His strong words condemned the culture of silence surrounding violent crimes and urged individuals to take accountability for their role in preventing future tragedies. In the wake of the devastating murder of G Dollar, Lil Ronnie, and his 5-year-old daughter Romani, a GoFundMe account has been launched to help their grieving family cover funeral costs and household expenses. The fundraiser, organized by Closey Friends and Family, highlights the profound loss suffered by Romani's mother, who is now faced with the unimaginable grief of losing both her child and her partner. The GoFundMe description reads, "On March 3rd, a senseless act of gun violence took the lives of a devoted father and his precious 5-year-old daughter, leaving a mother and family devastated beyond words. In the wake of this this unimaginable tragedy, the mother is left not only grieving the loss of her beloved daughter and partner, but also struggling to support her household during this difficult time. The financial burden of funeral arrangements, memorial services, and day-to-day living expenses has added another layer of hardship to an already overwhelming situation. The community is being urged to come together and donate in support of the family as they navigate this heart-wrenching loss. For more content like this, click on the videos showing on your screen now.